Hey, and welcome to Meanwhile in Andorra, the podcast where two guys talk football, nonsense, and everything else in between. I think that's the right intro. I'm Travis Newton, your host, and I'll hand you over to my co-host.
I'm Ricky, and definitely the right intro. Travis always manages to get it right seamlessly. It's only chaotic when I do it.
Well, the thing is, it's been a few weeks. We were pre-Christmas. It was in Christmas party season that we did it, so I've almost forgotten. So much has happened in Christmas time, not necessarily footballing wise, but like just in life, that has made me almost forget the intro.
I feel like it's been like one of those major events. Like it's been a lot longer than it has since we last recorded as well. It seems like Christmas, and it seems like a load of other things happened. It was just like, oh my gosh, like it almost feels like this was series 2 rather than just a continuation of what we've been doing.
Series 2, yeah. When it gets meaty, yeah. Series 2 is always better. Is Series 2 a better series? I think Series 2, it depends on what you're on. Lots of Series 2s are better, aren't they? Than
Lots of
Series
Series 2 normally better, and then it's normally and yeah, it's the opposite with films. It's like no, I mean, very
the
few films
are. Although, as you know, Beverly Hills Cop 2 was just as good as Beverly Hills Cop 1. Just when 3 come along, it was rubbish. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Rocky. I'd say it doesn't get really good until 3 and 4 in my head.
That's when the soundtracks get better as well.
Yeah, exactly. Deeper storylines.
Sidetrack. I was actually listening to the Rocky 4 soundtrack the other day. It was like, amazing. Is it hot?
Sometimes. Yeah, of course. And is it the other one? Two Worlds Collide, Rival Nations.
2 Worlds Collide.
That one as well. Yeah. That as well. It's really good. Welcome to the Rocky Nostalgia podcast, everybody.
Sequels appreciation podcast.
Yeah. This is everything else in between, basically.
So last time we met, it was obviously the big news of the draw. The big news being that you called it, Brazil got Scotland, and now we're seeing the sort of that's died down. Everyone's sort of gone back to league football, as it were, except for the thing that we're going to be focusing on today, the African nations.
Yeah. And I've already got a name for this pod. It's got to be It's Time for Africa. Surely, as per the Shakira song, Waka Waka and all of that. Yeah,
it's time for Africa. I love that.
Yeah. AFCON is AFCON fever. First things first, really odd for it to start on like Christmas Eve or something, or the day before Christmas Eve or something. I was like, what? You're going to play over Christmas? And then I started looking and being like, are they? And I think Christmas Day was the only day that they didn't play any group matches. But then every other day they had games on, which was really odd. But we were talking earlier about the fact that neither of us have watched it as intently as the World Cup, have we?
No. Exactly. And I think you had good. I think your theory on this is actually, it's not theory, it's truth. It's the reason why it is affected. It's not, and it's not Christmas as you'd think in just Christmas.
No, because it's because we live in Europe, firstly, and so despite the fact that all the games are televised on UK TV, we're just not geared as a society to watch the African Nations Cup, because it's not at the forefront of like all of the stuff that's like happening with, like in your work. So like I was saying to Ricky off air that, when you go to work during the World Cup or the European Championship, you will go in and it'll be on TV. If you've got a TV, if you're lucky enough to have a television in your work, it'll be on TV. And the thing's geared around watching games. And everyone's expecting you to watch games. So everyone's kind of like, this is happening. Whereas with AFCON, I found myself the first couple of days at work watching games on my laptop on like More 4 or whatever the channel was that was showing it. So it's like, it's very hard. Been very hard to like, keep track of. And then obviously where we're both guys in our late 30s, mid 40s in my case, we're with other commitments and jobs and kids and all this other stuff, we're like, just can't do it really. Like, I wish I could. When I was a kid, I could do this.
It is one of those things where I remember watching the highlights when I was with other people, sort of socially during the break, and my phone, and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just watching the African Nations highlights. And they were like, have you got a bet on it?
Yeah.
No. As if that would be the only reason why I'm choosing to watch highlights of another international tournament. But it is, as you say, it's that mindset of Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Why,
front and center.
no, not at all. If anything, you'd think there'd be a vested interest from a lot of people anyway, because you want to see your players do well. You want to see how they're performing, pregnant they don't get injured. So you'd think
Or
there'd
that they
be
come
more
back early.
awareness of it. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this is it.
When Dr. Congo got knocked out, I was very happy that Wan-Bissaka was going to come back and play right back for us again.
Or is it Liverpool just itching to watch Egypt, and then every time they just have a good run?
I probably don't care now because now it's got a bit sour at Liverpool, isn't it? But but in years gone by, they would have been like, hurry up and get home, Salah. But it's a weird one. And you know what we're talking about? We were talking about the whole focus of it, right? So this is my theory. So going back to this podcast and the reason why I like international football so much, and the reason why the World Cup is such a mysterious tournament, even now after 45 years of being on this planet, right? You have scenarios in the World Cup, and I think about this all the time, as I've said to you before, it's a weird one, right? So you'll have a scenario where, I think the Ivory Coast played Greece in 2014, right? I think in their group match. Now, they will probably, in mine and your lifetime, never, ever, ever play each other again in a game that gets as much world attention as that game got, that gets as much national attention as they gave it, and has players prepped to actually go into it in a competitive game. They might play friendly against each other. They might play, I don't know, maybe they end up in another March Madness in future or something. They will never play a World Cup game, probably. They could do, but it's very unlikely that they'll play a World Cup game against each other in our lifetimes that means as much as that game did, even though it was just a group match in 2014. And that is the beauty of the World Cup for me. That's why you get random results. That's why you get teams performing really well in a World Cup, and then 2 years later they get battered in another tournament or another friendly or whatever, because it's actually every bit of the nation's efforts have gone into that one moment. And that goes back to the whole thing about the World Cup being the front and centre, the focal point for for everyone. And the same in England, right?
The FA Cup or the international stage, it is that thing of these teams will likely never play each other in a lifetime again. Everyone's focus is on it. You're both gaining from it country-wise, what it means to the future of the sport in your country as well, because it's so televised. You've got people who have, loose ties to that country as well, or it might be in a country of their home where we actually think, there's an option here. I'd like to play for them. I'd like to do that. And all that starts to come into play. It isn't just a fact, but it is
geared towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is what I think the African nations unfortunately misses. And not just the African nations, if when the CONCACAF Gold Cup is on, I tried to watch it before. I have watched a couple of CONCACAF Gold Cups, but not many. It's really hard to see them. Or the Copa America. As much as they've got good teams in them, you just can't follow them because they're not, they're not conducive to European audiences, and our media isn't set up, and our lives aren't set up to follow them. And I mean, have you ever? I was thinking this earlier when I was writing my notes as well. You ever watched an Asian Cup game? I think I've watched one once years ago on
seen
a random
highlights
channel.
of them.
I think there's if you go on Freeview TVs, you can get these random channels. There's a Danish or a Scandinavian channel. I can't remember what it's called now, and they had the rights to the last one, and I think I watched South Korea, Oman, or something stupid like that, because I was like, Son's playing, I watched that, and I didn't even last the whole half. I was like, this is actually quite boring without any context. So quickly decided against watching the rest of the Asian Cup.
And what makes me laugh is there are big tournaments where we don't get focus and things like that, and it's hard to watch. And yet you'll get. Do you remember when we had Le Tour Noir in '97, and suddenly it was the big thing? It was because England are in it, and France are in it, and Brazil are in it, and it was in France, wasn't it? It was we're all going to watch it, and it was a big thing suddenly. But do you know what people gave stuff like that more time as well. Do you not think? Yeah.
I think we're not fed up of football, but we have so much top level football pushed at us, with the Champions League and all that other stuff, right? Do you remember people used to, that Le Tournoi, had like, I mean, you know, obviously famous the Roberto Carlos kick.
The goal.
Nowadays, if you played a tournament in the build up to a World Cup the year before, and it wasn't like an official FIFA tournament, which that wasn't, there's no way you'd get a full strength. No one would be like, oh, well, let's send our full strength people out to play this tournament. They'd be like, well, no, actually, this person's going to get injured. Their club doesn't want them to play. They've got a World Club Cup, or they've got these other things to play. Like, no one would do it.
We also had the rest of the world versus Europe games, and it was the actual talent playing. It wasn't retired players, it wasn't ex-players, it was current players.
Yeah. Could you imagine that now? Could you imagine them just being like, yeah, we're going to take Lamine Yamal and all these other people, and they're going to play against, like, I don't know, who's a good South American now? Or like, you know, like, or Haaland or whatever. Like, they're going to play Haaland and Mbappe, Lamine Yamal are going to play against the best of like the rest of the world. And it's like, well, no, because like he's contracted to Barcelona, and if he gets an injury, we're going to sue the hell out of you.
It was one of those things that just disappeared so quickly that I was like, did I imagine this happen?
That was amazing.
Like,
yeah.
No, it used to be great.
Like full on Ronaldo playing full strength as well. Like it was a game that meant anything.
Yeah. It was like, whenever did you see Beckham running against like Zidane and Ronaldo? This is obviously before he went on to then go and play with them.
To
and everything.
Madrid,
like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. This is amazing.
It's a bit like on FIFA, you've got those special teams, didn't you? Like the Adidas team, whatever. It was like that. But in real life.
It was literally like superhero teams. It was like, what on earth is going on?
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah, you would never see that anymore. Like, and even then, even with the retired players, they don't do it straight away, do they? Like they now go into it a few years afterwards.
Probably because they're trying to see if they can get another, like, one last deal, or do you know what I mean? It's probably you be properly retired before you do that, or miss it. Because I'd imagine you probably, again, like back to the point of like being saturated with football. I'd imagine if you're a professional footballer and you've played for the last 20 years, when you retire, you'll probably be a bit relieved, and it probably takes a year or so before you start to properly miss it, and then go, actually, I'm gonna play in a rest of the world versus Europe game, or Soccer Aid or something.
Well, it's funny you said it, isn't it, now? Because you now start to see people like, even like Roy Keane and Gary Neville, they're only just going into charity games and things like that, where they didn't for a few years. And in fact, Neville would be like, I never wanted to put on boots again before that, because he was like, I'm done with it. Like, and whereas now you're actually seeing people like that actually step onto charity games. And I know that the World Cup, didn't they, in European Championships, the commentary teams like ITV that have a game versus BBC.
Oh, they have a game against each other. I'd kill to watch that. Yeah. Properly, I'd kill.
They showed some highlights.
Yeah, you always get like little clips of it, like but you'd like imagine like a proper
Mickey
like
Richards was in goal, wasn't he?
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, but
my he was in goal the other night for the Baller League as well, actually.
Oh, was he? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
I've not watched the second of that. That's a bit much for me, the Baller League. But we've massively digressed, by the way. Like we're on to the Baller League. Yes. We're talking about AFCON and the fact that it started over Christmas, and we weren't. And I was sneaking games on my laptop at work during the Christmas period. But it's
we just did that whole digress in case your boss was watching.
No, it's fine. It was during a very quiet period anyway, but I had it on in the background. But like, I remember literally I said it was on like E4 or War 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And, I watched. What did I watch? I watched. Oh God, I'll tell you in a minute. It was Congo against. I watched two games. Democratic Republic of Congo against Benin. And me being me, I then started reading loads about Benin, because I was like, I don't know anything about it. And then did I watch South Africa, Angola? I watched an early game. I remember there were early games, like during the day games when I say early games. But then after that, like the novelty wears off, and then like I said, you just got too much stuff happening to watch enough of it. But I have watched, as we were saying, so I watched the beginning part of the group stages, and then pretty much the quarterfinals onwards, which have been great. I don't know whether you've but maybe we jump back to the beginning. So the first few days, obviously everyone talks about AFCON and talks about it being a bit mad, don't they? And and I know I spoke previously about like not wanting to stereotype African football and laugh at it and deride it, because I don't want to, right? But some random stuff happened in those first couple of games. You had the first game, which had the brilliant bicycle kick for the second goal, and then Morocco did it again in their second game, another bicycle kick. But then you had like there was like two penalties saved in the first two games, where like, and they weren't amazing penalties. Then you had like that somersault. I think you sent that to me, where the guy
Yeah.
was broke his neck doing a somersault.
Oh, it was horrendous. Imagine watching that. You're like, oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah. Some club back in Europe worried about their man getting an ACL or whatever, and he's going to break his neck instead.
By choice
Jesus.
as well. Like,
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Optionally doing that's crazy, yeah. That was crazy. And then there was a game, I've written it down in my notes, South Africa against Angola, right? That was game 2 of the competition or something like that, right? And I'm watching it, and the ref's kit kept breaking. Like the like his headset and that, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, have you watched those videos that Sky keep putting out, by the way, of the refs when they're running around and they're
The
just
refs,
talking to the players?
yeah.
Amazing. Where they're like, goal kick. And he's like, I'm going to award a goal to number 7. And you're like, I never realised that. I mean, I know refereeing's hard, and I'm not saying I could do it, but I never realised so much went into it. Well, South Africa, Angola, the means to do all of that broke. And the ref just stopped in the middle of but he didn't tell anyone he'd stopped. That's the worst thing. So he's playing this game, and all of a sudden everyone's like, where's the ref gone? Like, what's going on? And they just petered out. Like, he didn't blow a whistle and go like, oh, I'm halting the game. It just petered out. And everyone was like, well, what's going on? The commentators were like looking at each other and being like, what's going on? And then the players were like, because it was really early in the game, players just started warming up amongst themselves, but like with the opponents. So it wasn't like they were like pinging balls to each other, like just to keep warm, while the referee messed around with like the VAR and messed around with his headset and that for about a good 5 minutes. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So like, yeah, it's hard, right? Because like I said, you don't want to laugh at that, but then you're like, guys, man, come on. Like, this is an international tournament, and they haven't got goal line technology as well. Because there was an incident.
But it's the thing, wasn't it? Because they had quite a lot of VAR incidents for this tournament.
I know. But no goal line technology. There was a goal,
which is amazing.
The one of the quarterfinals, it might have been Nigeria the other night. Nigeria played Algeria in a quarterfinal. Ball looked like it went across the line. No goal line technology, so they're just debating it, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry." Again, not deriding African football, but I'd have thought they've had that by now. Like Morocco is quite like, they've got these nice stadiums and that. No goal line technology, and then the chaos of. Did you see the Samuel Eto'o thing? You must have seen the Samuel Eto'o thing. So Samuel Eto'o is the head of the Cameroon Football Association. So he's the Sir Bert Milichip or whatever, like, drawing FA Cup balls out or whatever. So he for whatever reason, he sacked the manager. He fell out with the manager and he sacked the manager. But I don't think he had the jurisdiction to sack the manager. So the manager was like, well, I'm not sacked. And he appointed a mate of his or whatever. And then they had 2 managers at the beginning of the tournament. And they were like, well, I'm not listening to what he says. And someone else was like, I'm not listening to what he says. And they were like fighting over who was going to be the manager of Cameroon going into the tournament, because Eto'o had just decided, no, you're not going to have that guy. I want this guy. And that, again, is absolutely nuts.
Is this why he was banned, effectively?
I don't know. Was he might have effectively been banned off the back of it, yeah.
No, this was a while ago. It seems like he was banned for something else.
He's managed to bounce back from that and become the head of the FA.
Wow, considering he was banned for incidents at the Under-20s Women's World Cup in Colombia.
God, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Right.
I love it. One of the related stories was, why was Messi forced to leave Barcelona, as if it was like Samuel Eto'o's doing there as well.
So, yeah.
He's long gone.
Do we need to get lawyered up? We're not accusing Samuel Eto'o of any inappropriate behaviour. Just anyone.
Here's thinking we would have offended Trump way earlier than Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
But I understand what you mean. But I think it's that fact of them where people partner these issues that have happened elsewhere with stereotyping. It's in Africa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because it was like some of the fan things, wasn't it? Is it the Cameroon fan who was it? Cameroon? Where was he from? The guy who just stood
Congo.
still.
Yeah,
Congo.
yeah.
Sorry, Dr. Congo.
Yeah, the Congo fan. Yeah.
And it was like, it was such a great reaction from it, but then social media took it because of where it was, almost like.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Jokingly,
and like mocking it.
Whereas you see,
and then you're like, actually, there's actually a big meaning behind that. Like, there's a big meaning behind that. Actually, is like really important and powerful, and everyone's talking about it now. But the initial thing was to mock it, right?
Yeah, and it was instantly in my head on Sunday when Arsenal played Portsmouth in the FA Cup, and there was one of the sports providers put up a post of John Portsmouth FC being like, "Oh, look how emotional it is that he's tearing up for the and I was like, hold on, this is more comical, way more comical than actually what happened in Africa, and yet the story was completely flipped."
Yeah.
So yeah, it does show you. I think there was an element of what we would expect to see. There's one thing we haven't heard much about as well is the which was interesting to see on the telly, which they did focus on, which was quite good in the games in those areas, was the fan zones were huge. Like they weren't just doing the football, if you like, in the stadiums and making the big things. They were well attended. There were massive fan zones where everyone was getting together watching it in the streets and the big screens and stuff like that. So, which was really cool because it was something that people haven't associated with those tournaments as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So like two things there. Morocco has probably shown themselves to be like a really good host, and obviously they want to host 2030, was it? Or maybe that's Saudi now, I don't know. They wanted to host one. So like they're kind of showing themselves in a really good light, and like they'll probably be in a good place to host a World Cup at some point soon. And the second thing on that fan zone thing is that it recently came out that they're going to, for the first time ever, FIFA are going to be charging people to go to fan zones in America, aren't they? And everyone's like up in arms. Yeah, they're going to charge people to go to the fan zone at the World Cup next year. So like, or this year, sorry.
It goes against everything that is American sports as well, like because
they do the things where they go in the pot, tailgating or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Tailgating, every game in every sport has it. I've been to the basketball, they have it. I've been to the NFL, they've had it. I've been to the baseball and the ice hockey, they have it. Like you go there and literally it's so mad because I remember going to Madison Square Garden to see basketball one night and it was mental. Everything's driven for the basketball. I went there the very next day to get a basketball top for someone and they'd flipped it to ice hockey because they did it that quick because they had an ice hockey game that quick. So the whole stadium, it looked like there was never ever a basketball game there, but the whole tailgating thing was then set up for ice hockey, and you had all different fans there and everything. So it was. We went to ice hockey in Vegas, in LA, sorry, and it was again exactly the same. Like it was streets and streets before. People were just part of this party, if you like. But it's all free. Like you just walk in and take part in it. And
yeah, because
why would you then charge?
It should be. It should absolutely be set up to be free. Like, you know, the point of it is to set up a little area for people to go and have fun together. People that can't get tickets to this thing that's excluded to, like, you know, you can only get like 40 to 50,000 people or, you know, maybe 60, 70 if you've got a bigger ground into the ground, and everyone else can go and enjoy themselves. Like, you know, I went to a fan zone in Toulouse, I think. Yeah, I went to a fan zone in Toulouse in Euro 2016. Which was cool. Like, you know, like you get stuff like that. It's crazy that you just have, like, you know, FIFA have just completely lost, you know, sight of what the game is all about. And I'm seeing, without going too close to our second lawsuit of the pod, I'm seeing people stories of people cancelling their tickets or travel plans.
But it's amazing because we already know the prices of tickets are extortionate for the games themselves. So that's one blocker. And then the travel in between countries in America and between cities is also hard work. It's not cheap. Then you add in that whilst the infrastructure of the stadiums are good and a lot of them are modern, they're not huge stadiums. Like as what you would get in, say, if you had it in a European country, you'd get a lot. Like if you had it in UK, there's similar size, if not bigger stadiums, more to more spread out. So you'd think you'd want more fans in the area, bringing business as much as possible, boosting the economy, just fans coming from all over, mixing, encouraging it, spending money. Yeah, why? Why? It just, as you say, one, it goes against the principles, but two, it's not good business. It's short-sighted business.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get ticket money.
It's very short-sighted business.
Yeah, you'd probably get a lot more money if you did it free.
Yeah, in the same way that every other tournament ever has done as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, back to the African nations. We keep straying. It's it has been quite a success, I think, in Morocco. I've even got you know, like when people score, like in the European Championships, last few times, I think maybe in the World Cup as well. Like,
yeah.
So in the African nations, it's been
that
song, and that's just in my head. Like, it's been like a catchy tournament. It has had things that have like have gotten your thing. My last note that I wanted to kind of bring up sort of on the group stage stuff was around sorry, not Beryl. Benin, right? So Benin were known as the Squirrels, which is why I said Beryl. And they've basically changed their names to the Cheetahs because they were like, that's not threatening enough. Being a squirrel isn't really scary, so we're going to be called the Cheetahs from now on, which makes sense. Well, I just thought that was quite funny, and I picked it up when they were playing Congo as well.
It was amazing. Let's move as far away from a squirrel as we possibly can to the Cheetahs.
Yeah.
Sorry, it changed on their kit as well, wasn't it? They were going to have the cheetah on it.
Right. I didn't realise it went as far as that. Complete
rebrand.
I think it was,
it was something on the or if it wasn't their main kit, it was on like their tracksuit or something. Because I remember they did a big thing of like a social media post before the tournament to say we're doing this. The best thing was, but they used to have an actual squirrel as like a mascot with like
on their badge.
Someone was dressed as just that would be at games. It was
amazing,
dressed up as a squirrel, like with a superhero sort of like visor around his eyes, sort of thing. But that was hilarious, seeing that they've moved from but saying that, they then won their first ever game in 90 minutes at this tournament.
Did they? They? Wow, did not know that. Trying to look now. It wasn't the South Africa game because they lost that one.
No, they lost that one.
No, I can see it. Benin, they beat Botswana.
They
beat Botswana.
Yeah.
They beat Botswana and then lost to Dr. Congo, they would have done. Good knowledge.
Yeah, they lost to Dr. Congo. Yeah, it was their first ever win. I think they've only ever won a game at the tournament in penalties or something, or in extra time. So it was the first time they've won it in regular time.
Because they got to the quarterfinals, I want to say, or semi-finals last time, they were saying, without winning a game in normal time.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about it during the Congo match, and then now, okay. So then,
it's like even when they went out to Egypt, that's why everyone was so pleased. Like they didn't care; they were like so excited still.
Just won a game. Brilliant. Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
I hadn't appreciated that at all. And then at the beginning as well, like you had Senegal, who, and I was talking about taking players away for some reason, and I don't know Senegalese football enough to know who else plays left back. But they weren't playing Diaz from West Ham at left back, which was really annoying me because I was like, well, we could have done with him when we were getting absolutely pasted by bloody Wolves. Could have done with Diouf at the back, probably. And like Nottingham Forest and that, like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, cheers, guys. But then he did play. He played on the weekend, so I was like, oh, you are using him now. And I think there was even a comment from Nuno on it as well. That's how bad it was. Like, even he noticed and was like, you've taken one of my players away and he's not even playing. So, didn't go unnoticed.
He was saving him for the latter rounds of the tournament.
Maybe.
That's what it was.
Maybe.
That's what it was.
Maybe it didn't turn up fit.
How many red cards there have been in this tournament does.
Is it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 red cards, which it doesn't sound a lot, but considering the few games there are compared to other tournaments, and it's not finished.
It's not finished yet.
Yeah,
you've still got loads of games left, but there's still you've still got 4 teams left in it.
Can I just say Mali account for 3 of those?
Oh wow, excellent. And that last game they had a man sent off as well. They lost 1-0 to. Was it Senegal? No. Was it Senegal? Yeah, they lost 1-0 to Senegal and had a man sent off.
Senegal, yeah, it was Tunisia. Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, they had a game. Gosh. I think they've had a red card in every stage of the tournament.
Jesus.
Every stage of the tournament, they've had a red card. That's amazing.
Mali. Who's from Mali? So was Freddie Kanouté was from Mali, wasn't he? Mali.
Yeah.
Malian. I don't know anyone else. Yeah, of West Ham and Spurs fame.
Yeah.
But he was one of those that changed nationality halfway through because I think he did like France under 21s, and then when he realised he weren't going to get in because France had Henry, it was Trezeguet. It was like, oh, I'm going to be Malian now.
Do you think that's what's happened with Zidane's son?
Where's he going?
He's chosen
Is he Spanish?
He's chosen same as
Algerian.
Zidane. Algeria.
Algeria, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that.
Yeah. Lucas Zidane, yeah.
Did not know that. Because I know, obviously, his wife's Spanish, right? Because I remember ages ago them saying, oh, he could have played for Spain and all this other stuff. He's gone to Algeria. Fair enough. I know there's lots of, again, I listen to lots of political podcasts and things like that, and quite big on my African history and that, right? And I know that, like, there's a big thing in Algeria about French identity and Algerian identity. So I'd imagine that Zidane probably definitely sees himself as Algerian. I'm not saying he doesn't see him as a French person, but I think, like, there's lots of there were lots of factors that will come into that probably would have made it quite easy for him to play for Algeria, potentially, because of history.
Yeah. I think he said it was like honouring his grandfather, but at the same time, like,
exactly.
Zidane didn't, like, supported it in every way, and I think
you're
seeing that more and more now, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's a really complicated situation with Algerian, because it's all to do with, like, you've got lots of people that were, like, taken from Algeria to France and then were never treated like the typical colonial thing, and then you've got people that were taken to Algeria from France that were basically like migrants, basically, and they basically made a whole set of people in Algeria. I don't know why we're going down Algerian history. I can explain it probably better in a different day, but, like, we're probably not here to talk about Algerian history. But as a result of it, like, there's lots of complicated, and obviously there's a bloody civil war that went on, or not even civil war, the bloody colonial war, sorry, that went on for quite a while. I think it's one of the biggest in terms of bloodshed and people dying and stuff like that. France, Algeria, and that's where Zidane comes from and all this other stuff. So I'd imagine he's probably like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to represent Algeria, and Zidane's probably quite proud of it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I did not know that about the Civil War.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. I've listened to a couple of pods on it and read a little bit about it, but it's like a really complicated, because they basically moved a load of people to Algeria, like French people. And then, like, they went to Algeria and they were, like, living, like, they were almost, like, using it for its resources and stuff. And then there were people in Algeria obviously resented them. And then the people were not really seen as French, but they weren't really seen as Algerian or something like that. And it was, like, a real complicated, like, thing. And then it blew up, basically. And the people in Algeria rose up, and there was lots of trouble. And, and Zinedine Zidane came out of that as well. Anyway, on fuzzy Algerian politics, the next note I've got is Akon being at games, Senegal games. Amazing. In the crowd.
He's done a lot there, isn't he? Because
it's a bit.
Because he's done really well for the country there. Like, it's not often, I know there's always a thing about it, it's not spoken about enough. Yeah, like, he brought a lot of electricity to an area of the region where it didn't have it years ago, and then he's done a lot more for it since. But yeah, it's amazing. Did
a little dance with El Hadj Diouf on the pitch when they won their quarterfinal.
El Hadj.
I know, right? That guy.
I loved your note as well, as if to
not
how
the
to
spitter.
separate El Hadj Diouf, not the dude from West Ham.
Yeah, because they're both called El Hadj Diouf. One's called Malik El Hadj Diouf, and the other one's just El Hadj Diouf, I think. So, like, just to be sure, I was like, no, the spitting one, the one that Liverpool and Bolton, I think,
Bolton,
was renowned for. I think he'd done it a few more times. If he'd done it a few times, didn't he? He, like, spat at people, which is horrible.
Yeah, he was always getting in trouble for it, wasn't he? Yeah.
He's quite. I got the impression. I mean, I don't know him personally or anything like that, but I got the impression it was a bit nasty. Like, as in, like, he just had a side to him that, like, could potentially snap at times. Yeah.
Is it Liverpool as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Big time. He's at Liverpool for ages.
Yeah. He just never. Yeah, he just looked like one of those players who looked like he didn't have a healthy side to him. You wouldn't want to upset.
Yeah, he didn't want to. Yeah, exactly. Could just flip. And then you got obviously Brahim Diaz is next on my notes as well. Who Brahim Diaz is pretty good, wasn't he? Like, or has been pretty good. Obviously,
pretty good top scorer.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Are we surprised? Probably not. Like, it's a funny one, right? Because obviously he's there, and until I watched the first game, I was like, oh yeah, he plays for Morocco. It didn't even, do you know what I mean? You didn't go into it going, oh, he's going to light this tournament up. But then actually, then you sit there and you go, well, of course he's going to be really good.
He's one of those players where I think, and I think because of the surname as well, you're forgiven for thinking, what do you mean he's going to AFCON? Like, you just forget that he is Moroccan.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, yeah, is he going to be there? And then yeah, when he's actually there, you think, oh yeah, he actually should do well. Thinking about it, while he's there, but yeah, he's having a great tournament.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see if he
a
can
lot of
carry
what
it
they
on.
do goes through them as well. Have you seen any of their games so far? Morocco's.
I've only seen the highlights of their game, so I've seen, but if you can see, he's literally at it.
He's everything. Everything goes through him. I've seen 2 of their games, the entire game. So their opening game, I've seen highlights of the second game, and I watched the whole of their quarterfinal the other day as well. And in all 3 games that I've seen, or the 2 games plus the others I've seen, he has been the man. Like literally, as I said, everything goes through him. Every time they've got an attack, he's like taking people on. I think he won the penalty in the first game that the guy missed as well. Sort of like taking on his fullback and going around him and stuff. He's just a menace. And like, yeah, been really good. Been really, really good. And then and also like on Morocco, like it didn't even dawn on me. I don't know, as a game, my brain does weird stuff like this. You've got to get used to this. My brain was like, oh, did they knock Spain out of the World Cup? I was like, that can't be real. And I was like, yeah, they knocked Spain out of the World Cup. And I remember that because I was at my work Christmas party that night, and I remember watching it at my work Christmas party, sort of associate stuff with what's going on at the time. And they went to penalties. I think it was 0-0, and Bono saved a load of penalties, and they knocked them out. And I'm not sure that would happen this time round because I think Spain have gotten better. But it just goes to show their pedigree, though. Like to be able to, a strong on the up Spain side that like would then go on to like dominate Euro 2024 were knocked out by Morocco, who'd also knocked out Portugal, who I don't rate. Like they're decent.
Well, we were talking about it when we were talking about the World Cup groups, because we were saying that you got the the repeat of the 98 group, if you like, with Brazil and Scotland and Morocco being in the same group.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, Scotland have like been really unfortunate. Yes, Brazil aren't playing great, but it's coming. Brazil at a World Cup. Yeah. And Morocco are actually really good at the moment.
Yeah. We know what's coming, don't we? That's going to be that last group game that they need to win just to stay in it. And they'll agonisingly get put to the sword by Brahim Diaz.
You know what will happen? It will depend. If he stays at Real Madrid, he'll have a really good World Cup. If he goes to Spurs in January, he'll probably have a really bad World Cup. Or that will be he'll score no goals to score for Spurs and then score lots.
Yeah, one of those ones, where they're rubbish in the Premier League or whatever, and they go there and it's actually like, who's this guy? Don't remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't go to Spurs. We were talking about that as well. God, insufferable Tottenham Hotspur getting another good player. Conor Gallagher's gone there today, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, they accepted the bid, didn't they? Yeah.
Don't get them. Don't make them better. I mean, I don't know whether that's what they needed. I don't know. I haven't watched many Spurs games this year, so I don't know whether that's what they needed. But I'm hoping that that he isn't what they needed, and it's a waste of money. And I'm hoping that Brahim Diaz doesn't go there because and I know he doesn't get as much game time in Real Madrid as he probably would like to. But yeah. Don't go Spurs, please, mate. Go somewhere else. Go anywhere. Just go. Don't go to Spurs.
Look what's happened to other players.
Yeah.
Timo Werner is just.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Hopefully he doesn't end up there, or from both our perspectives, anyway. If you're a Spurs fan listening, you might want it, but please, for the sake of football.
Yeah, from this West Ham and this Arsenal fan.
So yeah, well, they're having a great run as we speak. No, tomorrow is the semi-finals.
Semis, yeah.
Yeah, Senegal, Egypt.
So they've got Senegal, Egypt, and Morocco, Nigeria. Nigeria look all right as well. Victor Osimhen scored the other day, good header.
Yeah.
I watched that game. They just seem to be. Have you seen all the reels that Bassi and that just keep taking a mick out of each other?
Hilarious.
In that.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. It all started with that Burnley game when he didn't square the ball to him, wasn't it?
He didn't pass to him. That's hilarious. That's the kind of content you need.
Yeah. Kicking the ball to AFCON or something like that. He's talking about he took the shot, it went over, and it's still travelling.
The ball reached Nigeria before we did.
Yeah. Now that's great.
Did you see the clip of them talking in training the other day?
Might have. There was one, because there's one, I saw a clip, and I can't remember what happens now, but they were like, he got his revenge on him. And they were taking the mick the other way around, but I can't remember what the clip is again. And it's like it's Bassi and Iwobi, and who else is there? There's someone else. I can't remember who else it is, but they were talking about them. You're going to go find it now.
Yes, I am trying to find it. It was
fill the dead air time with my voice while Ricky finds their clip on the fly. We should have been way more prepared for this, Ricky.
Yes, there was the. I'm trying to remember see what game it was. It was the Fulham game at the weekend when they scored in the last minute.
Okay.
Not the weekend, the weekend before.
Harry Wilson. Was it Harry Wilson scoring? The one where they...
No, the defender, wasn't it? It was...
cannot remember.
What was his name? The Liverpool game. Gakpo scored to go 2-1 up at the 94th minute, and he took his shirt off and everything, didn't he? And then Reed...
Yes, that's right, yes.
Yeah, scored the proper rocket, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Nigerian players when they're in training, and Iwobi's telling Bassi what happened. He was like, "Oh, Gakpo scored in the 94th minute," and then Reedy, and he was like, "What?" And they're like, "Reedy," and they're like, "No way, no way has he had a shot?" And they're like, "Yeah, he scored, got us the point," and they're like literally running off while this whole training session's going on in the background. Like they're so excited. Yeah, no, they've been comedy gold, I think, in that. But it's nice to see. That's the kind of content you want to see.
Yeah, there's been lots of that. Lots of people singing on the way to games, which is good as well. Like squad harmony and all of that, and like you say, like just good vibes amongst the guys. Nigeria, they still haven't. I think there's still been a row about bonuses in the team, and I don't know if Osimhen has offered to pay them or something. Someone's offered to pay bonuses that haven't come through. I can remember. Oh god, this always happens as well. I remember Cameroon had that in 2014 as well, when they had to I think there were conversations whereby it might be either Cameroon or Ghana, and they literally had to the president had to drive limousines of cash to them during the tournament to be like, "Can you please play the next game? We'll sort it out. Just play the next game for now." So there's lots of you just don't know, but yeah, it seems that Nigeria, bonuses aside, seem to have they seem to be clicking at the right time as well. So it'll be a very interesting game when they play Morocco. But I personally think that Morocco might be too strong for them, given that they did struggle in their qualifiers, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Nigeria did struggle in the qualifiers. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they play Morocco. And they've played a couple of decent teams, but I'm not sure they've played anyone as good as Morocco yet.
Yeah, it's sort of that home vibe as well for them. I think there's enough there carrying for them. I'm expecting they must be favourites at the minute, Morocco, to go on and win. I know Senegal are having a good tournament, the same Egypt are having okay, but Egypt have had some tough games as well, and sort of how they've come through them.
Egypt Ivory Coast was good the other day. I watched that. Did you see any of that? That was a really good game.
3-2,
really good game. I watched the entire game from probably about the 20th minute or so. Really, really good game. That was like a really good good quality, but also exciting as well. Just lots of stuff happening in it.
Well, how the Ivory Coast only scored 2 goals in that game was crazy.
Yeah. It was like a basketball match, wasn't
it? Yeah. And it was an own goal as well. I know, and it was like
it
was amazing, but that ended up what it was. And then did you see the stats at the end of that game of possession? Something stupid. It must have been over 70% possession to Ivory Coast.
Really? But Egypt just kept picking them off on the break, innit?
Yeah. So that'd be really...
They're decent. They're decent. And obviously they've got a bit of pedigree in the AFCON, Egypt. I was thinking, I put in my notes. They're it's a really weird, I think they always overperform in AFCON and underperform in the World Cup. And I don't mean, obviously I get that there are stronger teams potentially in the World Cup, but even getting to the World Cup, they qualified for 2 in the lot. Did they qualify for, I don't even think they qualified. Did they qualify for the last one? Egypt?
I don't think so.
22? They didn't, did they? No. So they've qualified 1. They qualified in 2018, right? They qualified in 2018, 1990, and I want to say 1938 to show off a little bit as well, right? Right? And I think that's right, by the way. and they and you can check that. They for that you consider that they spent the entire noughties basically not qualifying for World Cups, despite the fact that they've won it three in a row at one point in a period, and it wasn't even their first one. I think they're the most successful team in AFCON, yet they never bloody qualify for the World Cup. And it's like, well, you're playing against the same teams to qualify, so how do you not get there? There's like such a disparity. Did you check it? Are you checking?
It's 4 times 34.
Or 34,
34, 90, 2018.
2018, and this one.
And this one.
Yeah. So I got it wrong. I thought it was 34. I thought it was 38. Cuba qualified in 38. That's a weird one.
2 draws and 5 losses. They've never won a game when they've been there either.
Yeah, exactly. They're just underperform all the time. And don't get me wrong, obviously, you say they've never won a game. For the first 2 appearances, they probably weren't that strong. But like 2018, they had Salah. But then 2018, they were in a group with Uruguay and Russia and who's the other one? So they lost their first game to Russia like 5-1. It was the opening game of the tournament. They lost to Uruguay. I'm trying to think now. It would have been, process of elimination. It's got to have to be a European because they've already got they're African and they've got a South American in with them. And then they've got, and then they got Russia. So they would have another European, but I can't think of who that is.
Oh, I think, no. So first game, Uruguay lost 1-0. Russia.
No,
3-1.
Saudi. They played Saudi.
That's it. Saudi Arabia.
You're right. Do you know what? They didn't go European because the first game was Saudi Arabia. I'm mixing them up with Saudi. So that was a weird group. Fucking hell. So Russia got a group with 3 non-European teams in it in their own World Cup. It's a bit dodge. Yeah. So they beat Saudi, and then Salah. That's when Salah done his shoulder at the Champions League final against Real Madrid in the build up to it. So then he went there, and they kind of rushed him back, and he never played as well. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's because he's injured." And I was like, "Well, probably because he's not playing with half the Liverpool team around him."
And yet the weird thing is, when in 90 they had 3 European teams in their group.
Oh, mate, I know 90 is easy. That is our group. So in 90, right? So the first game, they drew with the Netherlands, while we drew 1-1 with Republic of Ireland, and they drew, I want to say 0-0 or 1-1 with the Netherlands. I think they drew 1-1 with the Netherlands. Yeah. Second game, we drew 0-0 with the Netherlands, and they drew with Ireland 0-0. Yep. Third game, we beat them 1-0. Mark Wright scored the header, and the Netherlands and Ireland drew. I can't remember that. It might have been 0-0.
Yeah, because it was the game that determined what side of the draw we then went on.
And they had to actually draw lots. They had to actually draw lots between the Netherlands and Ireland to see who would go. Yeah. And the Netherlands got Germany, and Ireland got Romania. And don't get me wrong, Romania had Hadji playing for them, but like a very young Hadji. And half of, they'd won the European Cup as well. Like, they had all the Steaua Bucharest guys. But even still, they weren't the same as Germany, who would go on and win the tournament. So the Netherlands definitely got the raw end of the deal there, the drawing lots.
They weren't a bad Irish team in 1990 as well. Like, there were some decent players in that squad.
That was, Sorry, but anyway, Egypt, they seem to just underperform at tournaments, don't they? When it comes to getting to the World Cup, yet they seem to be really good when it comes to the AFCON, which is weird.
Tournament team, cup team, as we call it,
a confederational tournament team.
Yeah.
And who's the other one? The other one is we talked about
Senegal.
We talked about Senegal. We talked about Morocco. Oh, that's all 4 semi-finalists. Yeah. And I think they are tomorrow is it tomorrow and Thursday? We're not missing one today.
Both tomorrow, both tomorrow.
Oh, both tomorrow. Oh.
Yeah, one's at 5, I want to say. And one's later.
Oh, annoying.
Yeah, one's at 5, one's at 8. Which is unusual because normally at that stage,
They normally do one day after the other,
Yeah.
Annoying because that means I'm going to miss one on my journey home from work.
It's because the final's on Saturday, isn't it? So they want to keep.
Is it?
No, the final's on Sunday.
I was going to say, yeah.
Third place is on Saturday.
They've got a third place playoff. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's on Saturday at 4. And then Sunday you've got the final on 7. Hopefully that's on Channel 4 and not more 4.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be E4, mate. E4.
E4.
Or 7. Alongside Was it 4 in a bed? They were like 4 in a bed before the dinner date on afterwards, and
Coach trip.
And do you know what? Do you know what I keep doing as well? I keep putting it on. I'm not joking, and I keep watching old episodes of the In-Betweeners because it finishes, and then they just literally, because obviously they're trying to fill time in case it goes to like extra time or penalties. They put on like any old shit afterwards, and it'll be like an old episode of In-Betweeners, like grainy 2009 footage.
I just really like what is it, like the nightclub scenes when it's just like, what is it, I was going to say the gas, but the just, you know, what was that thing they used to just pump out at
Oh,
nightclubs?
I know what you mean, that the smoke machine sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah, the smoke machines. Yeah, and all the lights and all the waistcoats.
Yeah.
You see,
honestly, it's so dated, man. You watch In-Betweeners now and you're like, Jesus Christ. And you forget as well, like, we did this, literally, I watched the end of I think it was Saturday night when the Egypt game finished. My wife, like, I was watching the Egypt game on my phone. And then we kind of finished what we were watching on the main TV. And then she was like, I'm going to bed now. So she was flicked it back for like literally the stoppage time of the Egypt game. It finished and it went on to the In-Betweeners. And then we both sat there because, like, you know, like you see someone on TV and like, and we both ended up watching like 20 minutes of an In-Betweeners episode. And we were like, this is so dated and so un-PC and so like everything. How did we ever get away with saying and doing those things like 20 years ago? It's mad. And all the guys, like, then we started looking them up. They're all like my age or like a little bit younger. Like one of them, I think Will is the same age as my wife, and she won't care because she won't listen anyway. But like she's 42, and then I think Simon is like 41 or 43 or something. And then like all of them are. I think the only one as young is what's his name? Jay. He's 30 and 37 or 38 or something. He's young.
He's
a lot
my
younger
age,
than
yeah.
the
He's 37, I think, yeah. Is it James Buckley, isn't it? Yeah, because he does his own podcast with his wife, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
They do their one. And was it this guy who plays Simon? He has like a whole feed dedicated to him being spotted on the train. Because he always looks really grumpy at people taking pictures of him because he travels on the train a lot, like the underground.
Oh, right.
You don't really see the others, do you, that much anymore?
You never see Blake Harrison anywhere.
Something.
I don't know.
I think it was the teacher done was it Greg thing? Has done the best out of all of them, I think.
Oh yeah. Because he does that thing on, is it on Dave?
Taskmaster, isn't it?
Taskmaster, yeah. The really tall guy, Mr. God, what's his name? I can't remember now. It's too long ago. Too long ago.
He was a teacher in real life as well, wasn't he? Yeah.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was a teacher in real life. That's what you used to do. He's got some funny anecdotes about that as well. But yeah, oh my gosh, In-Betweeners, wow.
Yeah. Dated comedy after the African nations. So like, yeah, it's good stuff.
It could be worse. At least it's not on the BBC. You'd have the worst BBC comedy following the African nations possible.
Mrs. Brown's Boys or some rubbish like that. Fucking
just anything from the 80s as well.
Yeah. Well, they've got some more white things. Yeah. I don't know why we've gone down a rabbit hole of Channel 4. Have you ever watched? Yeah, go on.
Good. No, go on.
No, I was just going to say, while the rabbit's out the hat or the cat's out the bag or whatever you want to call it, I was just going to say to you and anyone else listening, if you watch Staff Lets Flats on Channel 4, mate, everybody watch it. So I'm gonna just add that in there. It is absolutely amazing. Who's in it? Oh God, it's like a lot of people. It's like phone shop style. It's like it's about an estate agent, and it's so good. It's so good.
What's
it's
it called?
So funny. Staff Lets Flats. It's about these Greek letting agents that have got like a rival one, and it's got a few people. I can't So it's got people that you would know. There was a BBC drama called Siblings and it was about his twin brother and sister. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah.
It's really funny. And the brother from it is in Staff Lets Flats, and there's a few other like British comedy circuit people that are in it. That's really cool. Yeah. There you go. You heard it on the AFCON focused Meanwhile in Andorra. Watch Staff Lets Flats. We've absolutely gone all over the place with today's episode.
Brilliant. So, and on the next episode, we'll catch up on the final, as well as hopefully focusing on South American football.
South America, yeah, we'll get my friend. We kind of promised it just before Christmas, we'll get my mate Carlos on, who's I said our Peruvian, the one man in this world that he probably would have known that Egypt were in 1934 and not 1938, because Carlos doesn't slip up with these sorts of things. He's the only person in the world I think that knows the World Cup more than I do. But we'll get him on, and we're going to talk old school South American World Cup related stuff as well. We were going to talk about qualifiers and stuff this time around. We might do, but he now lives in Europe, so he's probably got as much time for the qualifiers in South America as we do. I was going to say, before we do go, Ricky, who's your money on for the final? We've got 2 games left. We don't even know who's going to be it, who's going to win this, and who are they going to play in the final?
I think Morocco are definitely getting through to the final. And I think they're going to play. I debated this. I think they're going to play Senegal.
Do you think?
I think Senegal are going to edge it. Yeah, I think Egypt have just had some tough games. I think they're going to come. I know they are a good tournament team. Well, a good, really specific AFCON tournament team. However, I think they're on their last legs. I think they're going to push it to go one game too far, and this will be it. I can't see them getting to the final. So I think Morocco overall, but Morocco Senegal final. Who you going
I'm going to be really boring and say exactly the same as you. You've convinced me that Egypt are done. So yeah. So like, no, I think like you, I can't see anyone other than Morocco winning this tournament. They've been so like energetic and everything, and they've had the home crowd behind them, and it's like I don't see how Morocco don't win it. And then on the flip side, I think Senegal are sturdy. I don't think they've necessarily, every time I've seen them, I think I've watched about 2 or 3 of their games, and they've looked all right. They've not looked amazing, but they've looked all right. And I think Egypt have got that, like, you know, they conceded 2 against the Ivory Coast the other day, and the Ivory Coast are all right, but they're not that good. And it's like, well, you know, like, I think that, yeah, Egypt are going to be gotten at by Senegal a little bit, and Senegal will be a bit solid for them. They've got lots of, and maybe I'm just going off the back to Senegal, a lot more names that I know of than Egypt do, but like, I think they'll get to the final, and like you say, I think then the home advantage and just the energy of Morocco will do for Senegal in the final. But it'll be good. It'll be good to watch. I'm going to definitely watch the final, and yes, I might be able to watch the one or more of the semi-finals tomorrow. I'm going to try and watch. I reckon I'll watch the first semi-final on the Elizabeth line home. You can kind of pick up Wi-Fi on there.
Yeah, I should be able to get some of it, I think, as well. Hopefully. No, I'm on the central line. I've got no chance. I'll get some. I might get some.
Lucky to get on.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Hilariously, I was thinking when we were talking about comedy skits and comedy shows after the African Nation Games, and then we were like straight in, we're going to have someone called Carlos come on talk about South American football. This is not a skit. This is like an actual person. We're not going to bring on someone in a sombrero.
Not Basil 40, like, yeah.
Like, this isn't like 2000 Soccer AM.
Yeah. We're not on PC. Carlos is a real person.
Just like I just had images of people thinking, yeah, of course, we're going to dress our friend Nigel up in really bad stereotypical clothes, which half of me would just do just to wind him up. And I'm going to end on your final note because you're going to the England game.
Final note. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm going to, for the second time. This will be my second. It's not competitive though, but it'll be my second time watching Uruguay. I've actually been to watch Uruguay against Senegal at Wembley in the Olympics back in the day in 2012. But like, yeah, I'm going to watch England-Uruguay. So my kids were basically like, oh, we'd love to go and watch a game at Wembley because I've never been to Wembley. And I said to them, don't worry, we'll get to a playoff final next year and you can come. But ahead of that, they were like, oh, we don't want to go and watch West Ham. We want to watch England play at Wembley. And we were like, okay, so for their Christmas present, it come up and we're going, all 5 of us, my wife and 3 kids. We're going to go watch England-Uruguay on the 27th of March at Wembley. I don't know, any Fede Valverde is going to play for Uruguay? Maybe. It'll probably be like their reserves because it's not going to be like that. As I said, like the England or the Europe versus the rest of the world tournament where everyone plays their best players. There'll probably be 20 changes at half time and all of that. But like, we're going to go and watch England, hopefully, see a few good Premier League stars as well. Like,
do you know, I think that would be a really good game to see. And one thing I like about it, I've been taking youngsters. I remember taking Max, my cousin, when he was a kid to a few England games when he was younger. Wembley, and they were always fun things for the family to go to, and they're good atmospheres. And one thing I do like about whenever I've seen England play at Wembley against South American teams, the crowd turns out. So in terms of the away fans, like you will get
a bit of an
lots of
atmosphere.
South American fans, and it just makes it nicer around the ground. I remember going to Brazil, Argentina at the Emirates, and like even just around the Emirates Stadium before the game, like it was just it was just better than your average European friendlies that you get, where they are quite dull and dreary, and the atmosphere was a lot better. So I think that would be a really good one to take the kids to.
Cool. Hopefully it is then, yeah. I don't know how many Uruguayans live in London, but yeah, let's only got like 6 million people or something in the country as it is, I think. So yeah, maybe there is a fair portion of them that live in London. But yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, on that note, then we'll leave it there. We'll look forward to the next episode, and we look forward to the final. So yeah, if don't put your money on what me and Trav have said, but it looks like we're both cheering on Morocco, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, speak to you later, guys. Yeah, Morocco probably aren't going to win it now, but yeah, well, we can pore over that in 2 weeks' time and go over why our predictions should never be trusted.
Yeah, don't send in your betting receipts. Take care.
All right, speak to you later. Bye-bye.